All right, so here's a few things that you can do before you retire to help out. And like in the case of this first one, it really is important that you do it before you retire. And the first one is your home mortgage. You need to evaluate your mortgage and make sure that you have the best deal out there. Now, hopefully, you got some of those pre-pandemic really ultra low interest rates, and in that case, you should be set up just fine. But in the case where, there might be a better deal out there, go ahead and talk to a mortgage loan officer and have them evaluate your loan and see if you're getting the best deal that you can out of where the market is right now. And also talk to them about what's upcoming. Maybe in the next few months, the Fed's going to drop the rates again. So discuss all that with them and see if you can get a better deal, because here's what probably won't happen after you retire. You probably won't be able to renegotiate a really good deal on a mortgage because you don't have any income. No. You have basically what you're drawing out of your nest egg. You don't have a job anymore. And, any kind of credit is going to be harder to get once you're retired. So make sure that you've got, some good low interest credit cards. Make sure that all your financing is set up before you retire, and take a look at that mortgage. Now, kind of along those same lines, only a little bit different, when you're doing your retirement planning, before you retire, take a look at your car. If you have a car that's 14 years old, runs great, looks good, no problems, well, the thing is about a 14-year-old car is the things that you wouldn't expect to go wrong will start going wrong. Things like the heater, the air conditioning, the alternators. The newer cars nowadays, the engines, the drivetrain, all that is really in pretty good shape. But what will happen is the car starts deteriorating around that drivetrain. And next thing you know, you're having to do all kinds of weird stuff to keep it running and keep it going right and have all your creature comforts. The other thing that you may not think about are, the large costs in your home if you own your home. Roof replacement is a big one. Most roofs are good for 15 to 20 years. So when did you have your roof replaced? If you don't know, your insurance company should have that on file. Other things are hot water heaters, your HVAC system. HVAC system, about every 15, 18 years, you need to be looking at that. And that's if you have a really good system. Most of them won't last that long. So try to anticipate some of those costs and put those costs into your retirement plan. Let's say your HVAC system you replaced 6-7 years ago. Well, in your plan, put another $10,000 in for replacing an HVAC system in, say, the next 7 to 10 years. Same thing with your car. If your car's 14 years old, look at replacing your car in the next, 3 to 4 years. And put that money into your planning budget for your retirement. And if you need to, say your car's getting in pretty rough shape, you may want to go ahead, back to number one and buy that new car now. If you don't think you have the funding in your retirement plan to buy it outright, you may need to finance it. And again, you'll want to do that financing before you retire while you still have an income and while you can get that lower interest rate. The other thing I'd like to throw into this category are your bucket list items. If you're wanting to take a European vacation, if you're wanting to take a world cruise, the once-in-a-lifetime stuff that you're wanting to do during your go-go years, again, add those into your retirement plan. And that way it's no big surprise, when you go to your financial advisor or if you're doing it yourself and you go and you pluck out that, $25,000, well, it was already, kind of negotiated in that cost. So go ahead and get that done early. When you're doing your planning, lay out a timeline and let your financial advisor know, or put it in your software, when you think you're going to need to take some of those items. Okay, I'd like to pause the video for just a minute and ask you if you'd go down and hit that comment, and hey, if nothing else, let me know where you're from and let me know what things you're thinking about, before retirement that might help you out once you go ahead and pull the plug and leave your employer. Okay, number 3 is take advantage of all your employer benefits before you leave, okay? Especially like, your dental, your vision. Make sure you get that new pair of glasses before you walk out the door. Make sure you've used up all your yearly dental and got your cleanings done. Make sure you got your annual physical done. All those sorts of benefits like that. The other thing you want to do is take a look at your 401k, and if you haven't been with the company very long, see how long it's going to be before your next vesting is taken over. It might be worth staying. If you're within a few months, it might be worth staying a few extra months. And along with that, make sure that you know how the bonus structure works. A lot of companies, you get a bonus, you get quarterly bonuses, yearly bonuses, things like that. So for me personally, I had to work one day in the next year to get my bonus from the previous year. So it made sense for me to go ahead and stay for a while because it was a pretty substantial bonus. And number 4, you want to look at the things that you're going to want to do in retirement. Yeah, because while most of us would like to think, the travel's just going to fill everything up, that's not realistic for most of us. Most of us, we're not going to be able to travel 50% of the time or probably even 20% of the time. So what you need to do, you need to stop and think about, what does a typical Wednesday look like? Yeah, what are you going to do on a typical Wednesday? And you need to budget that money into your retirement plan and do that before you retire. That way you're not trying to, steal money from here and there to pay for like a golf membership or a membership to a gym or something like that. So think about what you want to do and how you need to go ahead and fund that. So like I said, you may need to fund golf or fitness memberships. You may want to do online classes. You may want to learn to be an artist, or you may want to learn to do, say, Adobe or something like that. Now, YouTube is great for things like that, but you may want to look into some online classes where you pay for it. And some of those are like Skillshare, which is about $119 a month, and I learned a ton on Skillshare. And it was a great learning platform, and I really enjoyed it for kind of online technical things. And what I used it for was a lot of my YouTube and videography and photography and things like that. And hobbies like woodworking and painting and things like that. If you're going to get into woodworking, you can do something as simple as wood burning, which you can get into pretty cheap. But when you got to start buying saws and things like that, it gets pretty expensive. If you want to paint, just buying the paint supplies and the canvases and things like that, those are things, they're not really large costs, but they are costs that can add up over time. So hey, I hope this video's helped you out. And if it has, reach down and hit that like button and watch this video next.